Tina Hogan Grant here. It's been a while since I've been live, so I wanted to come on and just say a howdy, pop in and say hi. Wish you a happy new year, a little delayed. But like I said, it's been a while since I've been on, so this is not a scheduled chat. It's not something I posted about. Just a random pop in, say hi, give you a little catch up on what I'm doing, and just see how everyone's doing. So I'm gonna just hang out here for a little while and wait for some people to join me. I am streaming this live on my Facebook page and my wait a minute, my Facebook author page and my YouTube channel. So if you can see me or hear me, come on and say a howdy and let me know what you're up to. I thought about doing a live read from my work in progress and just giving you a little update. What's going on? I'm out of practice on doing my lives. It's been a couple of months since I have done a live, but I want to get back into schedule on doing a solo live, usually around the last Friday of the month, or if I'm not busy, that is. Otherwise, when I can. But I like to do them towards the end of the month. And I see Barbara is here. Hey, Barbara, how are you? This is not a scheduled chat. I didn't post about it. I just figured I would come on and say howdy to everyone and hang out for a little bit because I have totally been so busy that I had just lost track of my scheduled solo lives that I have been doing at the end of the month. So I'm going to try and get back on in schedule and do a solo live at least once a month just to hang out with you guys, say howdy, give you some insights on what's going on. And I see Peggy is here. Hello, Peggy. Happy New Year to you both. I hope the year is starting out good for you. Um, it is freezing cold here. I was going to take Jack for a hike and I went outside and it's like 29 degrees. And I'm like, I'm sorry, Jack, but we're not going today. So right now he is being a good boy and knock on wood that it stays that way. He is downstairs hanging out at his favorite window, looking out at the world. But usually when I tell him be a good boy, he listens and he's a good boy. And he gets a good reward when I come on down. But anyways, I just wanted to come on and let you know what's going on, what I've been up to. It's been so hectic that I apologize for, not being my usual social self that I like to be. But Christmas is good. We had a great Christmas. We spent the time with Mark down at his house. They have a new house, so it was the first Christmas in the house. They were really excited about it. We had a really good time. Hung out with them all day. They cooked a fabulous dinner. Then I had my birthday. That was a great birthday. We were going to plan on going for a bike ride that day, but it was so cold. We decided not to. So we hung out at home. And Gordon was the perfect host for my birthday. Bought me some great gifts and cooked me dinner. So it was a really, really good birthday. I enjoyed it. And now we are in 2026. So that is what's going on. I hope you guys all had a good holiday. But right now, as you know, I've been working on my latest book, which, as you know, is called A Boyfriend's Secret. I started writing this within a week of book two, which is a daughter's. I'm going to keep track of all these secrets. A Daughter's Secret, which was published, I think, August. I think it was August. Time is going by so fast. But I immediately jumped into this book, A Boyfriend's Secret. And as you all know, I do not plot my books. I do not plan my books. I just sit down and just start writing whatever the characters tell me. I can tell you that A Boyfriend's Secret, as of now, I do not have a release date. I don't like putting pressure on myself when writing the first draft. I just don't write well under pressure. So I just listen to the characters when they're talking to me is when I write. I don't write on a regular schedule. I'm a pretty carefree writer, I guess. When the characters talk, then that's when I write. And it seems to be that a lot of times I'm writing at nighttime now. I am just too busy doing other stuff during the day. Gordon does go to bed early because he gets up early, 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. So the house is nice and quiet. Jack is sleeping. And I knock on my characters' doors and say, "Come on, okay, it's all clear now. Let's do some writing." But I have been writing most nights, and my goal is still anywhere from 1,000 to 1,500. That is where the only pressure I put on myself. And I have been reaching those goals, but it is a continuation. Like I cannot write a standalone. So there's definitely a series with characters from the other two books. Patricia Levenik makes an appearance again in this book, who is in Secrets Told and in A Daughter's Secret. Molly and Stacy are in this book. In fact, it starts with Molly and Stacy. Um, but of course, the title, A Boyfriend's Secret. So Stacy does have a new love interest in this book. His name is Kirk. And then you also know about Gus from book 2. And the question is, which boyfriend is holding the secret? And that is kind of how the book is going. I'm kind of having an idea. The characters don't let me know right away um, what is going on, which is what I like about being a pantser when it comes to being a writer, because I feel the plot unfolding. I feel um, the anticipation when writing it, and what I feel is what I expect the readers to feel. So writing this way, I get the sense of being a reader, versus if I plot, I know where the book's going, I know where it's going to end, and for me, there's no anticipation, there's no anxieties or plot development, because I already know where the story's going. So that is why I really enjoy being a pantser, because I get the emotions as a reader too. So I really enjoy being a pantser. I don't think I could ever plot a book. I tried and it didn't work. Peggy says, she says, "What is your new book title? I have fell behind reading your books and I feel so bad." Don't feel bad, Peggy. We all have a life and we all, you know, have things to do. But it is a boyfriend secret. It's book 3 of the Secret series, and I'm already asking myself, will there be a book 4? I honestly don't know until I have finished writing this book. Right now, oh, we see Lori's here. Hey, Lori. Hello. I was just telling others that have been here that this is a spontaneous chat. I didn't post about it. I didn't mention it. It's just, oh, I'm free this for a little bit. I'm gonna pop in and say hi because I've not been live for a while. I want to try and get back on schedule. I've been saying for the past 2 months that I'll get back on my solo chats, which are normally at the end of the month. And yes, I know it's only January the 8th, but I'm trying to get back into the swing of things. Now that the holidays are behind me and my chaos it's slowed down a little bit. And then I see Connie is here. Hey Connie, how are you? Good to see you, my dear. So anyways, back to the boyfriend secret. I am over 2/3 of the book done, or the book is over 2/3 done, should I say? Get my words straight here. And I am on chapter 30. I think I don't have the whole manuscript in front of me, but I believe chapter 34, 35. I'm guessing this book is going to go just like A Daughter's Secret to probably mid 55 chapters. What else can I tell you about the book? Of course, it takes place in this little town, Riverbanks, so I would love to visit. It is a fictional town that I created, but I wish it existed because I would be there in a heartbeat to go check it out in Montana. So it takes place there. And also in parts of California, it takes place also. So California now pops up into this book. But I hope you're going to enjoy it. I'm actually enjoying writing it and watching the characters grow in this series and telling me more of their stories. So yeah, I'm excited about it. Like I said, I don't have a release date yet until the first draft is done, because once the first draft is done, then I kind of know the time frame for the editing, for my cover designer, for my art team to read the book, which a lot of you are on from here. So I'm guessing, this is just a guess, that I should have the first draft. We're in January the 7th. I'm going to say the first draft, if I stick to my regular writing sessions, probably the middle of February. So I'm gonna kind of set a loose goal. I don't want to put pressure on myself, but if I do reach that goal where the first draft is done by mid-February, then we're looking at definitely a May release. That's not too far away. that's spring. So let's shoot for that. Like I said, it's loose goals. I don't want to, concrete it in that this is going to be the release date. This is I just can't work under that kind of pressure. So that's what I'm going to say loosely mid February, and you'll hear about it when the first draft is done. You will hear about it. And so will my editor, Lulu, because she does a fantastic job, and she'll be the one that will be cleaning it up. Laurie's asking if we had a small flurry this morning. We've had a ton of rain um, last week. Our road, we live on a dirt road. It is totally washed out. I mean, there are 2-foot trenches in our road going down, and we have to zigzag our cars to get across because the city does not own our roads. We own our roads, so it's up to us to maintain them. But thank God we have the water tank at the bottom of our road, so the water company's been coming up and doing a good job of filling it in and maintaining it after it gets washed out by the roads. But last week it wasn't cold enough for snow. It was like 35, 36, 37. So we just got flooded out with our roads and a lot of water. Now that it's colder, it's 30 degrees today. We got some snow flurries this morning, but now it's blue skies and sunny, but it's cold. It's cold. Too cold for me to go for a walk. So yeah, that's what's going on in the neighborhood. I am going to read you. I did this with, I think it was the last book, A Daughter's Secret. I read you the first chapter of the really rough draft of the book. But today, before I sign off, I will read you the first chapter of A Boyfriend's Secret. I have not talked much about the book because I've been so swamped with getting A Daughter's Secret out, and then the holidays came up, Thanksgiving, and then Christmas, and then I just booked way too many in-person events, which I enjoy, by the way, but they were just back to back, and they kept me on my toes for a while, but I did really well. I love doing these in-person events, and I wish all of you guys were local. I would love to see you all in person at the events. And I keep saying I would love to expand out of California to do some in-person events, but that's an expense, traveling, hotel rooms, food, and all that. But I keep saying never say never. So we'll never know. But I'm now booking events for the spring. I actually booked 3 this morning. I have 1 to do this afternoon that's guaranteed because I was a vendor there last spring. So with Christmas behind me, I'm starting to think about spring. In fact, a few of them are for Valentine's, February. Hopefully the weather holds up. But in California, as long as it's not in the mountain, we're good. The weather stays pretty stable, 60s, 70s, something like that. But up here where I live, it's all over the place. So that's what I've been working on. But I tend to be talking more about the book, filling you in. I already know what the cover is going to be. It's funny how sometimes when I write a book, the title comes to me straight away, the cover comes to me straight away. And that's what happened with A Boyfriend's Secret. Before I even finished A Daughter's Secret, I already knew where the next book was going to go and what it was going to be called. And even before the first chapter was finished, I knew exactly what the cover is going to be. I gave a slight outline with my cover design, and she says, yeah, that's perfect. We'll go with that. So the cover should be pretty simple for this next book because we both know the cover designer, Tiffany and myself, we both know what we want on that cover. So that's going to be a piece of cake. I think it'd be one of the easiest covers to come up with because we knew what to put on it before the book's even finished. So I like that. Who else is here? I've seen some other people join us. Let me go up a little bit here. Let me see. Hold on. There's a comment here from Connie. So I'm thinking about spring too. It was 60 degrees here yesterday and beautiful. It's been all over the place here. So, I mean, this morning we were in a big snow cloud. It didn't release much snow. Now it's blue skies and sunny. But the temperatures are really cold and it's windy. I don't like the wind. And then I see Tara is here. Hey, Tara Robinson. I'm glad you could make it. And who else is here? I can't, I have a hard time with I saw someone else here. Hold on a second. Laurie says hi to us. Oh, Laurie says it was in the 50s here. That's warmer than here. But I don't know why it won't let me scroll up. Hold on. But I saw some other ones join me. Let me see if I can get up there. Oh, Hold on. I just closed you out. Hold on a minute. I haven't chatted in a while, so I'm getting used to my um here we go. Now I got it. Oh, Debbie. Debbie's here. Hi Debbie. How are you? Glad to see you. But yeah, I haven't chatted in a while, so it's I'm have to get used to this thing again. I did take a break from my live chats for the holidays, and they are going to be resuming next Monday. I have not posted about it yet because I'm still waiting for the files from the author. She said she'll get back to me. She's been out of town. I totally understand that. But I did write down her name. She's going to be a new author to me. I hope I pronounce her name correctly. Oh gosh, Edie Eds Nevets, Nevets. She is the author guest on Monday for my Cup and Nata. We're resuming on January the 12th, 5 o'clock. She's supposed to be sending me the files today with her book cover and all that stuff that I post with the chat. So as soon as I get all that up, I'll be posting about the chat. But I'm looking forward to it. I took a month off for the holidays. And now I got to get back to these chats and my platform of when I'm chatting. Barbara says it is 75 here, mostly sunny in Florida. It's going to get chillier next week. When you say chilly, Barbara, what is it? 50, 40? Chilly here is 13 at 10. You know what? We have not had much snow this year. I am very surprised. We used to get a lot of snow every year. You've seen the pictures. I'm trying to hold on. Okay, there we go. But this year we've had very, very little snow. Very surprising. But we're still early. We've had snow in March, April before, so we'll see how it goes. And Renee is here. Hi, Renee. Good to see you. Jack says hi. He is downstairs, hopefully being a good boy. He just cracks me up every day. I post a lot about him because he is just so entertaining. He's going to be 2 in February. I cannot believe he's going to be 2. But he has turned out to be a cool dog. I love his personality. I love his playful manner. And he's just a never dull moment with him. He's just such a really cool dog. So of course, I miss my other dogs, Tess and Ellie, and the other ones that have passed. But Jack is super cool. He's just really funny. He cracks me up. Yeah, Laurie says I have a chat coming up on the 12th. Yep, I am on the 12th. That's the one I was just talking about. I'll be posting about it as soon as I get the files from the author, Edie. I think her name is Edie, Eides Nevets, Nevets. I don't remember the genre she writes until I get the files from her. But she's a new author to me. I love meeting new authors on these chats and learning more about their writing habits and everything like that. So yeah, she's going to be my next guest, and then I'll resume my every 2 week schedule. And what's good is I'm booked up now until I think July, like 6 or 7 months in advance. So the bookings still keep coming for the chats. They do really well on the podcast. I really enjoy doing them. And I enjoy you as an audience coming to hang out with us every 2 weeks. So that is resuming next week. The other thing I am working on, still the audio for the Tammy Mallory trilogy, which is taking forever. I don't know how I'm going to get all these other books in audio. The things I have come across with getting this Tammy Mallory trilogy in the audio has just been crazy. The obstacles I had to overcome, the narrators that didn't work out. And I'm hoping that we can just wrap this up this year just for this trilogy because it has just been, I'm not going to say chaos, but just, I don't know, just a lot of work. Then I'll work on the other books, but I don't know how that's going to go. I refuse to do AI for any of my audio. So, of course, I want a narrator, but the first 2 were just unacceptable. And this third one is good, but it's just taken a while. But I'll be glad when they're out there. The other thing I'm working on is translations for all of my books, starting with my new releases and then working backwards. Right now, we're working on the German translations for Secrets Told and A Daughter's Secret. So that is what I've been working on now. And then after that, it'll be Spanish, Italian, and French. Once those are out for The Daughter's Secret and The Secrets Told, they will be on Kindle Unlimited in those countries. Then I'll be working on the Tammy Mallory trilogy for other languages. So that's taken up a lot of my time too. So, I'm wearing many hats here, but it all is good. I love what I do. I just like keeping busy. I do. I really do. Um, I'm looking at some of these comments here. Laurie says, I enjoy the chats. Fun to get new comments. New authors, know the authors. Tara says, she's barely just keeping the wood stove coasting today. It's been warm for Tennessee. Oh, well, I'm glad it's warming up. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. I love Tennessee, by the way. I went there with my son a couple of years ago, about 15 miles out of Nashville. We had a blast. We stayed in a cabin there with his family, his kids and wife, and we had such a good time. I didn't see as much as I wanted to. We spent a lot of time in Nashville. But we went to some lake too. I can't remember the name of the lake. For my life depended on it. But we had a blast. Rented a boat out there. It was super cool. Beautiful state. Beautiful state. What else is going on? Let's see. Let me think. Translations, boyfriend secret book. Oh, this Saturday I'm doing. I'm looking forward to it. This is what I like about doing these in-person events. It's not only is about reaching out to people about my books, selling my books, and also my beading that I have now doing that I truly enjoy, but it's networking with other readers. And I met this woman at an event in Santa Clarita. I think it was, well, it has to be before Christmas. But she ended up buying A Secret's Told, and then went to a book club, and they ended up reading it for their book of the month last month, which I always find to be such an honor when a book club chooses one of my books to read for the next read. And these 15 ladies have invited me to discuss the book with them on Saturday. So this is in Santa Clarita. It's about an hour away, 40 minutes. But I really enjoy talking to book clubs in person. So when they're out of state, I do a Skype meeting with them. But the book clubs in person are so much fun, a lot of fun. And we sit up there for about an hour and talk about the book. They can ask me questions. I give them a background on my writing. And I also do a little raffle with a little goodies bag. And there's a raffle ticket in there where they can buy. They're going to win either a signed copy of A Daughter's Secret or which is the next book in the series, or any one of my other books. So I really enjoy doing these in-person book club meetings. And that came from one of these in-person events that I did. So it just reaches out to so much more versus just selling my merchandise at a booth. So that'll be this Saturday. And if they're not too shy, I will have some pictures to post with it. So I'm looking forward to that. That's this Saturday. Um, so yeah, that's something coming up. That's another event I'm going to be doing. What else? I can't think of anything else. It's just getting back on track. Doing my regular posts in the group. The group, as you know, I do my scheduled posts, and then I come in the evening and pop in and say howdy. But the group is running so well. Karen's doing a phenomenal job keeping track of the posts and doing the author takeovers. She totally runs that by herself. In fact, Saturday, January 10th, her group, Care Bear Readers, it's her fifth. I think it's her fifth. I'm sorry, Karen, if I'm wrong, but it's her first time doing an event like this. Her group has reached 5 years. It's her fifth year anniversary. So she's doing an all-day event, giveaway some more of the authors. I'll be a part of that. So if you're not doing anything, go show her some support, meet some new authors, and hang out there all day. But this is the first big event. I'm super happy for her. It's an all-day event again Saturday. If you're not a member of a group, it's Care Bear Readers. You can just find the group and request to join. I'll be having 2 or 3 giveaways there. So check it out again Saturday, January the 10th. She's doing really good with that group. And I wish I could, spend more time in these groups, but I'll get nothing done. The only group I really focus on now is this group, my group, Read More Books. Also, books. Oh my goodness. Novels and Latte Book Club by oh my goodness. What's her name? That runs Novels and Book Club. She's having an event at the end of the month too, and I don't have that date in front of me. But I'm also going to be a part of that. I should have written that down. I'll be posting about that soon. But she's having an event too, all-day event with authors doing giveaways. So check that out at the end of the month. Gail is here. She says hello. Good afternoon, Gail. Donnie Ruby. Thank you, Lori. I swear to God, I wish I write notes before I do a live chat. But that's me being a pantster. I just keep talking and don't have a scheduled chat or a speech, should I say, or a script. I just, blab along what comes to mind. But thank you, Lori. It is Donny Ruby, Novels and Laddie Book Club. Sometime this month, January, she is doing an event. I didn't write it down, but look for it. I'll be posting about it closer to the date. I tend to post about the events I'm doing the same week I'm doing them, because if I post now, the post gets lost and we all forget about it. So I tend to post closer to the date of when I'm doing something. So those are the two groups that I will be in this month. Let's see. I can't think of anything else that's going on. Jackie's been really good. I'm not going to jinx it though, but I don't hear a sign out of him. But sometimes when he's quiet, he's in trouble. But I think he's being good. He's being a good boy. And Lloyd says thank you. So what I'm going to do now, that's kind of what's going on. I am going to read to you. I always like to do a live read when I come on here, and whether it be from one of my old books or the book I'm working on. I think a lot of you have listened to most of my live reads, but I want to get back in on track of doing a solo once a month. I'm going to try and do it towards the end of the month because it's easier to um, to keep track of, shall I say. But this one was just a spontaneous thing because I haven't talked to any of you in a couple of months since before the holidays. Oh, and the other thing I'm going to be doing, which I'm excited about, I did my first one of these back in September, and it ran for 6 weeks, and it was a workshop for indie authors, and it was a paid gig. This business paid me to come teach indie authors about self-publishing, and I did 3 classes. It was a lot of fun. I've never done that before, but from that class, one of the students there belongs to a writers club in Bakersfield, and she talked to her class there about me and the classes she attended. Well, now that writers club has hired me to do a workshop for them. So that is going to be exciting, and that starts in April, another paid gig. So I'm as another adventure I just kind of stumbled on. So I will be starting another workshop in April for a writers club in Bakersfield, and it will again run like the other one. It'll be for 6 weeks. That one in Pine Mountain Club is 6 weeks, once a week, and I think it's going to be the same thing for this one. So these are a lot of fun. So I'll be doing a workshop for indie authors in Bakersfield starting in April for 6 weeks. So, anyways, what I was saying. Oh, Carol is here. She says hello. Uh, and Renee says, "Yeah, no, yeah, I wasn't something I planned. I just kind of stumbled on it. I know the book owner. It's an indie bookstore of the one I did last year. She's also a personal friend, and she owns the local bookstore in Pine Mountain Club, which is the next town over, about 12 miles away. And she had asked me if I'd be interested in doing a workshop, and I said sure. And that's how it progressed to now the one in Bakersfield. So yeah, I'm excited about that. So that'll be a lot of fun. So that's something else on my agenda. Another hat that I now wear. But anyways, what I want to do, I'm looking at the time. I have to be on the phone. Oh, the other thing I do want to say, this is totally away from writing, but it is a concern. Another thing that has been kind of distracting me is um, the reason why I say I have to be on the phone at 2:30 is I'm making a phone call, but my sister Debbie in Colorado has been in the hospital since, my God, 23rd of December. So it's been a really big concern for us. She came that her husband went home and found her collapsed at home. Turns out she has double pneumonia. She Her oxygen level is at 50%, and she also has some blood clots around her heart. So, of course, it's been a total concern. She's on oxygen right now, but um, keep her in your thoughts, keep her in your prayers. I'm going to be calling her at 2:30 when she comes back from some more testing. So that has been a distraction, but I don't post a lot about, family issues. But on a chat like this, I just want to let you know that, yeah, we're keeping you in our thoughts, and I try and call her every other day in the hospital. What's really hard for Joe, her husband, is he can't go see her because she is not only contact she is not only contagious, but they don't want her to get anything else. So she is not allowed to have any visitors. Um, but I am able to talk to her, so I'll be talking to her at 2:30. So, anyways, I will keep you posted on her. They say that she'll probably need oxygen for the rest of her life because her lungs have been so damaged from the double pneumonia. But thankful that she's still with us. But that's something that's going on outside of my writing, and has been quite a distraction. So just keep her in the prayers. But moving on, I promise you that I will read to you. Now, I am a little apprehensive about reading to you. A piece of writing that has not been edited, that will probably change quite a bit here and there when it goes to edits. I have to figure out how I'm going to do this because it's on my other laptop and my desk is not that big, but let's figure this out. Hold on a second. I gotta set myself up. See, I didn't prepare. But anyways, I did this for the last book that came out, A Daughter's Secret, and it just gives you, a little insight to what to expect on the next book, how it opens up, whether or not it stays the way it's going to open up. I got to move stuff. Excuse me for just a minute. I'm going to get this over here. And it's very, very rough, very rough. And there might be some sentences that just sound like, huh? What did she say? But I just thought you get a kick out of reading, or not reading, listening to the first chapter. Okay, how am I going to do this? Hold on a second. I might have to put it on my knee. Let's see if I can put it on my knee. Hold on. Ugh. I wasn't prepared. Hold on a second. Let's see. Anyways, why won't this work? Hold on. Bear with me. We'll get the okay. So, this is very, very raw. Chapter 1 of A Boyfriend's Secret. In fact, when I write my books, I don't go back and reread what I've written. I think you know this because I'm a pantster, but I also don't edit when I write because if I start editing, I then start changing things around and I spend more time editing than moving forward with the story. So when I write a book, I just keep writing. I have not read this chapter that I'm going to read to you since I read this book, since I started writing this book. This chapter was written in August of 2025. That was the last time I read that chapter. So there's going to be maybe some lines that don't sound right or whatever, but it's just a way for me to share with you what I'm working on and give you an idea of what's going on with the book. Usually when I write the next book in a series, it's kind of a recap, not the whole thing, but a recap of what happened in the previous book. So if a reader picks it up on book 3, they kind of get a little in-depth of what's going on from the previous books. So are we ready for a little insight to A Boyfriend's Secret? Because that's what I'm going to read now. And thank you also for your prayers from my sister Debbie. I will definitely let her know because I'm going to be I'll be talking to her after I get off here. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to read chapter 1 of the rough version of A Boyfriend's Secret. If I can get this stupid mouse to work on my computer. All right, here we go. So, making her way over to the front window, Stacy weaved her way around the pile of boxes stacked in the middle of the living room and peeked outside, being careful not to be seen. I think someone is moving in next door to Audrey, Stacy whispered, still peeking out the window from the edge of the curtain. Why are you whispering? Molly asked, sitting on the floor, taping another box together. And why do you think that? Because there is a white moving van parked outside. Stacy continued to look, being the snoopy neighbor. That didn't take long. The couple that lived there only moved out last week. It's a pity we never got to know them. But they were pretty private. I never saw them have company over or go anywhere. Molly looked up from where she sat on the floor, the half-taped box resting on her crossed legs. I wonder where they moved to. Stacy finally turned around to face Molly, placing her hands in the pockets of her white bathrobe. I'd like to know who's moving in next door. I hope it's not a family with noisy kids. I think that place is a two-bedroom, two-bath. I know it's definitely bigger than ours. Molly smirked. Correction. Your place. After today, this will be your place. Stacy slumped her body onto the nearby chair and frowned. Don't remind me. I'm going to miss you when you're gone. And this place is going to feel huge without you. Molly laughed. Huge? This place is tiny. I'm surprised we didn't kill each other over the past 6 months. And how have you been sleeping on that couch is beyond me. Now you can sleep in a real bed, and so can Henry. Molly looked around the room and under the coffee table. Where is that little bugger anyway? He's lying on the kitchen floor waiting for his breakfast like he does every morning the minute I get up. And I resent your remark. I wouldn't kill you. You're my sister. Molly smiled, lifted the box from her lap, and placed it to the side on the floor before standing up and making her way across the room to where Stacy sat. Took a seat across from her on the couch. Are you going to be okay? I don't want to worry about you. Yeah, I'll be fine. It's just going to take some getting used to. Living by myself, and it's going to be so quiet around here. You lived by yourself in Texas, and you were fine with it. And as far as being quiet, are you saying I'm a noisy roommate? Molly joked. No, silly. But I enjoy our morning coffees together, sitting at the bistro table, talking about what we have planned for the day. And I miss our movie nights. I'm only moving across town to Gus's place. I'll be 5 minutes away. And you can come by anytime you want. And I promise, I'll come visit and we can sit at the bistro table and have a good chat and we can still have movie night. Don't forget me, Stacy begged. Don't get me wrong. I'm happy for you and Gus. I knew it was going to happen. He really loves you. I can tell just by the way he looks at you. Stacy chuckled and leaned back in her chair. Funny. I always thought I'd be the first one to hook up with someone. You were so against dating while looking for our mom, Caroline. And then boom, Gus falls literally into your lap when we went line dancing. I wish I was so lucky. Molly patted her knee. Your turn will come. They say it happens when you're not looking for it, and I wasn't when I met Gus, so quit looking and it will happen. Stacey sighed. You're right. I'm being selfish. This is an exciting time for you. Enough about me and my woes. Me and Henry will be just fine, and like you said, you're just 5 minutes away. She looked over the clock in the kitchen. What time is Gus coming over with his truck? My first appointment isn't until noon, so don't worry about me having to work while you're loading up his truck. Molly stood up from the couch and made her way back to the box she had abandoned and picked up the roll of tape. He said he'd be here around 10. And you're working on a Sunday? Stacy nodded. Yep, being self-employed, I don't have fixed hours like you do at the bookstore, but eventually I hope to take Sundays off. I'm sure it happens soon. Hey, are you going to move your office into the bedroom like you've mentioned? Your web design business is going so well, you'll probably need the space. Stacy shook her head. No, I thought about it, but when I have clients come here, I don't want to discuss their business in the bedroom. Molly nodded. You've got a point. That would be kind of weird. Stacy patted the arm of the chair where she sat. I thought about moving this chair into the bedroom and using the entire wall for my desk and file cabinet, and maybe use the couch as a divider. I think that's a brilliant idea. Do you want Gus to help you move the furniture around while he's here? No, I can manage, but thanks. I'm still thinking about it. She quickly changed the subject. Do you think you and Gus will get married? Molly stopped taping the box and looked up wearing a shocked expression. What? We've only been dating just over 4 months. Yes, and you're already moving in with him. The next step is usually marriage and then kids. Stacy grinned. Oh, that'll be so awesome when you have kids. I'll be an auntie, she said, clasping her hands up to her heart. Hey, slow down. I can assure you. There's been no talk of marriage or kids for that matter. We just want to enjoy each other. Well, when you do, I want to babysit as much as I can. She paused and thought for a moment. Shoot, Caroline would be a grandmother, and little Emma will be an aunt too, and she's only 5. Stacy laughed. Molly shook her head and laughed. You're impossible. And then also had a thought and stopped laughing, replaced it with a caring smile directed at Stacy. 6 months ago, we drove all the way here from Texas to find our real mother, which we did, and to start a new life, not knowing what was in store. At the same time, unconsciously, they both raised a hand to the gold heart hanging from a delicate gold chain around their necks and rubbed the shining metal between their fingers. I had my doubts that things would work out so well, Molly confessed. I'll never forget our first Christmas as a family at Caroline's house with little Emma and, of course, my love Gus. Stacy lifted the gold heart to her lips and kissed it gently. I've never taken this gift from Caroline off. It means so much, and she even had that engraved to my daughter on the back of each one. Me neither. It was a perfect Christmas, Molly agreed, looking at the picture of Stacy's desk of Caroline with her three daughters, Emma, sitting on her lap with herself and Stacy standing behind her. It was a picture Gus took on Christmas Day and had two copies made so Stacy and Molly could each have one. Molly returned her gaze to Stacy. It's kind of ironic, don't you think, that we also got her a necklace, a silver one, though with the words Mom encased in a heart. She loved it and almost said she'd never take it off, Molly chuckled. Stacy nodded with a smile. Yes, and as much as I care for her and still can't believe that we found her, I still have a hard time calling her mom all the time. I think it's a transition phase. Plus, I've called my adopted mom that since I could speak. It just feels weird sometimes. I notice you don't call her mom all the time either. You're right, I don't. And do for the same reasons as you. This is also new for both of us. And like you said, it takes some time, some getting used to. Thinking about the journey, Molly changed the subject. I remember sitting in my small apartment before we left, wishing it was a year from now, so I could see how it all turned out. And look at us. We're all starting new lives again. I'm moving in with Gus. Your business has grown so much that you're able to afford this place on your own. I wonder what the next 6 months have in store for us. Stacy tossed her head back and laughed. I don't think anything can beat the last 6 months. We found our mom, Caroline, discovered we were sisters, and also have a half sister, Emma. You flipped and saved the bookstore, and in the process gained Roxy the cat. You had the best-selling author in the nation, Patricia Levin, come to the bookstore in our little town, Riverbanks, and you met an amazing guy, and about to shack up with him. She glanced around the room, peeking over the many boxes. Where is Roxy, anyway? She's in my bedroom sleeping on the bed. I think all those boxes are freaking her out. To her, home is a bookstore. She's so relaxed when she's there and prances around like she owns the place. Molly laughed. But I can't leave her there when I'm off on Sundays. I'd worry about her. So I bring her home with me. I love that you bring her home for a night. Her and Henry get along great, but I think Roxy keeps him in his place. He's not always at my feet when she's here. Stacy chuckled and then glanced around the room. God, we've achieved so much in such a short time. I would never have guessed how well everything had turned out for us. I honestly have my doubts like you. I'm anxious to see what's in store for us next. Well, when you put it like that, a lot has happened. She gave Stacy a big smile. I have an idea. Let's have this conversation again in 6 months and see what we can add to our life-changing move to Riverbanks. Deal, Stacy agreed. There you go. So that is chapter 1, setting you up for the story. It sounded a little rough for me in a few places. The dialogue didn't flow like I wanted to, but that is the first time I've read that chapter in 6 months, 5 months, whatever it has been, 4 months since I started writing the book. But it gives you a little idea of how the book's going to unfold. Chapter 1 kind of recaps on what happened in book 2 and book 1 of the series, and then opens it up for the storyline for this book. So I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you again for the prayers of for my sister. I will keep you posted on that. That's it, guys. It's good to come back and chat with you, a solo chat, and to catch up with you all. I am going to try. I will not try. I will schedule a chat for the end of the month. That's in a couple of weeks, and just keep you abreast of what's going on now that the chaos is finally settled down and. I have more time to do things I enjoy, like this. I enjoy everything I do, but these I have missed. I have missed these. So enjoy the rest of your afternoon. I have to get off the phone. I have to get offline. I'm going to call my sister at 2:30. So enjoy the rest of your day, guys. I love you all. Thank you for hanging out with me. Thank you for your support. And I will see you back in the group. In fact, I'll see you Monday, too. Join us for the live chat Monday, 5 o'clock, January the 12th, with a guest author. All right. Good night, everybody. Bye.